I'm not a lawyer, and this isn't legal advice, but I've been digging into how these data center approvals actually work in New Jersey. A lot of people have been asking, is there anything we can actually do about these data center projects? And the short answer is yes, but it depends on timing and how the law actually works. So we're in a moment where projects are being evaluated under existing land use law, while policymakers are actively working to update the rules around energy, cost, and infrastructure. In New Jersey, there's something called the time of application rule. It's recognized in New Jersey case law, and that means once an application is considered complete, it's usually reviewed under the rules in place at that time. So these decisions are being made under the municipal land use law. And that's Title 40, Section 55D of New Jersey statutes, which focuses on zoning and site design, not the broader energy system. And so that means planning boards can regulate things like traffic, safety, and layout, under the municipal land use law. And those details matter more than people might think. But they don't control electricity sourcing or how the regional power grid is managed. That's handled at the state and federal regulatory level. So a board can't just deny a project because people don't like it. There has to be a legal basis under the municipal land use law, and it's tied to what they're allowed to regulate. Right now, New Jersey does have a law requiring the state to study the impact of data centers, and that's Public Law 2025, Chapter 98, but it doesn't directly regulate these projects yet. And that's where a lot of the concern comes in because there's no current requirement under state law that these facilities use clean energy or fully cover the costs that they place on the grid. And so, in the New Jersey legislature, proposals like Senate Bill S 680, they're looking at requiring cleaner energy use for large facilities. But those requirements aren't fully active yet, and they may depend on other states. Other proposals like Assembly Bill A796, they focus on making sure large energy users don't shift infrastructure costs onto ratepayers. And there's also an Assembly proposal A3966, which looks at the long term impact of water usage and infrastructure demand. And proposals like Assembly Bill A4696, which would actually require more transparency around energy and water use. And that's so the public can actually see the impact there. The key point is this, though. These are only proposals in the New Jersey legislature, and most of them are still evolving and not fully in effect yet. And from what I saw at the recent meeting I attended, a lot of people, showed up, but not everyone got a real chance to be heard. The timing and the length of the meeting really made it difficult, especially for some residents to be able to fully participate in the process. And that doesn't mean that nothing can be done. It just means that the strategy has to match how the system actually works. And so at the state level, that means engaging lawmakers and pushing for these proposals to move forward. And at the federal level, a lot of this comes down to how grid rules are set through agencies like FERC and the regional operators like PJM. So for me, the principle is simple. Data centers shouldn't be shifting costs onto residents. And that means, no ratepayer subsidies, real transparency, and responsible energy use. This isn't simple, but it's not over either. Once you understand how the system works, you can actually engage it.